Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is JT with Legacy Art Games, and we are back with more tabletop campaigns. Today, we return with GM Tompson and Rime of the Frost Maiden. They are already mid-session, so I'm just going to jump right into it. Here we go, and have fun.
60 feet away from this wagon, while the other wagon that had the mining supplies that were taken is close by to where you guys are, and all the goblin bodies. The thing that you notice about the goblin bodies is that they seem to be equipped for this weather, and they have something that some of you guys perhaps have this. Well, some of you probably don't if you arrived into the region not a long time ago, which is this set of snowshoes. They're basically things that you put onto your shoes in order to make it so you don't fall very deep into the snow as you're walking. They are easily enough to get, if you want to get it off their bodies, that is easily enough to do, because you basically put your shoe onto it, right? It's not. It can be attached in such a way that you don't need to steal their shoes or anything, and it can just be a unique size. So if you guys want to get some snowshoes for all of you, that is more than possible to do it. On top of that, the polar bears who are in the distance are calm at the moment. They are not. They're not running, they're not menacing, they're evoking, they're not panicked at this moment. It seems that the attack that happened didn't cause them any panic. Alright, you're going to ritual cast pick wheat animals. So that takes 10 minutes, yes? Alright. So, let me see here. Remind me, guys, we have Mikishi with Sender, yes? We have Vieri Mungver with Snack, yes? Snack?
Yes.
Okay. And your best mate's not here yet. And Legacy is Jurat, correct?
That's me.
Very well. Let's put the tokens down. So you guys have just managed to finish fighting these goblins. You see that the weather is not too bad at the moment. After that blizzard that passed, things have gone calm, and there is no sound of any yetis or anything coming. It seems that however it is that you killed these people, it was smooth and barely made a notice into the atmosphere around you. What would you like to do? We see that Mikishi begins casting the ritual to speak with animals. What is everyone else doing?
Well, Girat, I suppose, is going to keep an eye out, being the archer in the group, or one of. While Mikishi is doing that, he'll be on the lookout for any other goblins which might not have been with the main group.
All right. Make an active perception check to see if there is anyone else around. Begin looking around. It's a bit hard to spot on the snow. Even though there is no blizzard going on, the visibility is still somewhat reduced from the just regular calm snow that drops around. Yet you even have the idea of getting over to the whatever that vehicle is that the goblins were using to get a bird's eye view on the locale. And it seems that at the moment there are no more goblins around. Nothing else is happening. And it's calm. No threats at the moment. Store is going to go ahead and begin collecting the snowshoes. He says, This might be useful.
They would be in this weather. In this weather, they would be. As quickly as the blizzards are upon us, it could knock us straight off our feet. The anchor would be welcome.
Store sees that Mikishi is busy casting some sort of spell, and he's going to ask, I'm sorry, what are you doing? All right.
GM,
Magic.
since I don't pick out anyone, may Geralt rest and recover the small amount of blood he spent in that fight?
If you want to take a short rest, you can certainly take so, but it's not necessarily safe terrain.
Okay.
Either way, Mikishi's ritual wonder takes 10 minutes, correct? So you draw the runes in the air of your flames with your hand set of blaze. You draw the runes. It leaves out a tiny little piece of fog as it connects with each snowflake that comes dropping by. Yet, within the 10 minutes that pass, as everyone is busy collecting the dropped gear, you have speak with animals on. Oh, wow, you're really ready for this. You were really ready for this encounter, it seemed. All right, so you go up to the bears who are still walking over to the wagon itself, that massive wagon that seems to be like some sort of watchtower at the same time, which is a bit of an unorthodox look, especially seeing it being pulled by polar bears themselves. Even within this van, polar bears are not necessarily the easiest animals to tame. Most humanoids try to tame things that are a bit easier, such as axe beaks or an actual dog's fence. But nonetheless, it seems like the goblins managed to grab these polar bears, probably raise them from youth. You begin approaching the polar bears, and since you are casting at level 2, so you target both of the enemies, or not the enemies, you target both of the polar bears, and they seem to be, they look at each other, then look at you. It seems that I need to make a wisdom saving throw. Let's see. Since you have speak with animals, I'm going to give them disadvantage in this specific situation. Since you have speak with animals, I'm going to give them disadvantage on these wisdom saves. Let's make it public. Let's see, so everyone can see this. Never whisper, and disadvantage 13 and 90. Wow. Yeah. That's a +1. That's classic. Both of them make the save. Either way, what do you say as you approach? As you approach, it seems that they understand they understand you, and you cast the animal friendship, and they are not necessarily spooked at this point. What do you actually say with the animal friendship on? Sorry, with the speak with animals on. One of the polar bears looks at you and says, "We would like to be released." As one of the polar bears, if you're willing to take us as far as the town, I will trade you some food. The polar bear looks towards the other. Go ahead and make a persuasion check. Sure, can be any move anyway. 20, very good. The polar bears look at each other, then at you, and one of them says, "What type of food? Is it goblin? Meat. We like meat." The other one nods and says, "We like meat." What else is there to eat but goblin? Do you have different meat? Not many survive in this harsh weather. Either way, the polar bears seem content with allowing you to take you to town in exchange for some food. One of the polar bears says, "Praise the goblins upon the wood thing." "Praise the goblins upon the wood thing." Am I cutting out, by the way? If it's cutting out when I'm doing the accent, I can turn off RTX voice.
No, you're doing good for me.
Okay, perfect. The first word is getting lost in translation. I might be able to lower it a bit. Yeah, place the goblins upon the wood thing. As in, go place the goblins upon the wood, upon the wagon.
I think it's your accent mixing with polar bear accent. Yes,
Laughs the
just,
polar bear.
just so.
I can lower the RTX voice a bit anyways, just so it doesn't cut out the beginning of my word. It should be a bit better now. Store himself says, "Are you feeding them to the creatures?" "Fine with me. He begins packing up goblins. As Stor is packing up the goblins onto the other wagon, you see that Omar is beginning to push the wagon that had the metal ingots forward. He looks over at Viari and says, "Give me a hand, shall you?" Viari? Schneck.
Yes, sorry.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I got a new headset, so I'm kind of
Fiddling with
getting
it.
used. Yeah, I'm getting used to the new muting settings.
Yeah. The Omar, the other person here with you, he looks over to you and says, "Help me push the wagon up to the cart."
Ah, very well. And she'll go around to get in a good spot to help push.
Mm-hmm.
And by this point, Gerard no longer has the strange black veins just beneath his skin, and he quietly goes about helping to haul some of the goblins into the wagon. And as he drags the last one in, he takes a moment to look about at what they might have had among the probably various bits and pieces of salvage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let me double check. Just go over here to the root that is within. All right. So you find easily enough that there are a few different pouches containing coin. There is the sealskin pouch that contains 13 silver pieces and 25 copper pieces. I will copy and paste it over to the chat. But on top of that, there is also 2 potions that seem to resemble each other. They seem to have on the inside something floating. Between the small vial of liquid, there seems to be something floating on the inside.
Gerard carefully looks about, and well, in one hand he's holding the pouch of coin, and he notes the goblins seem to have been doing well for themselves occasionally. As for these, I do not know. And he holds up the 2 vials in his hand, shaking them to display that there's something strange in the liquid.
Yeah, as you take a closer look, it seems to be a fish scale.
It's something they must have taken from the skin of a fish. It's strange brew. I do not recognize it.
Is anyone good at alchemy? Does anyone have alchemy proficiency? Any alchemists? Any alchemists?
Alchemy? No, not for me.
All right. If someone has arcana proficiency or an alchemy proficiency, they can go ahead and roll.
I have Arcana, so I can do that.
Well, go ahead and make an arcana check then. The DC is 15.
Ooh.
At a quick glance, it simply seems like some shadowy water. Herbalism is fine as well, yeah. Herbalism can also succeed on this. 5 Arcana. As you basically look over to the file a bit closer, you definitely see that there seems to be a fish scale inside, but it just looks like some murky liquid. When you open it up to give it a sniff, it doesn't even have much smell. You're not really sure what this is.
Damn. All right.
Mikashi, you can go ahead and roll herbalism check as well. Herbalism, the DC is a bit lower. Herbalism and alchemy is a lower DC than Arcana. I would say the DC is 13. Oh yeah, 25, sure.
You know, I don't know why my standard gear comes with alchemist supplies if I cannot do alchemy.
You can probably do some basic sorts of alchemy. I would allow you to make this check as well, just for reference, since you do work with like
Blood.
some chemicals, even though you don't have alchemical proficiency. It's not just blood, right? It has a bit of special stuff to it.
Are you Blood Hunter?
I am.
You do get proficiency with alchemist supplies.
No, there you go.
That's what I thought. Must not have had it in my sheet.
Yeah, it's under proficiency. I don't think you would have the tool set. It's not listed in the starting equipment, but you do have the proficiency.
Oh, there you go. It's the other way around.
I have supplies, but
So-
toolkit, no.
All right, so 25 is definitely a success. You recognize these potions as potions of animal friendship.
Ironic.
They seem to last for... so you can cast... If you were to drink one of these potions, you could cast animal friendship at will for an hour. Yep. Can go around getting all the animal friends. You want to take the long road through the snow mountains to find more polar bears and make an army?
Whoops, ignore.
Yeah, I'm sure there isn't any yetis around.
Would a yeti even count for animal friendship?
No, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. I'm sure the yeti will not be attracted by the sweet, sweet taste of beast. Either way, you guys push the cart that has the ingots. You begin putting them into the other cart, so you're not forced to carry 2 carts. It's much better. It's much easier to just take the one that's being pulled by the polar bears than to take 2. As such, you guys realize that there are about 300 iron ingots wrapped in thick burlap. They are tightly secured to the. You guys tightly secure them to the sled with the leather straps, which were previously securing them to the other sled. Each ingot weighs about 2 pounds, and it actually has the symbol of a foaming mug. Snack might recognize this symbol out of character. Foaming mug. But I don't think I have a picture. But everyone can make a history check as well.
Oh, what's the symbol called?
It's a foaming mug. Like, it's a mug that seems to be foaming.
Okay. So, a history check, you said?
History check, yes.
Better! Alright.
23 is a success. Which is actually quite curious that you in particular got this one, since you're not from around here, really. But it seems that you have come across your travels with the Bat of American.
What?
You have come upon your travels with the Bat of American. For the foaming mug symbol is the symbol of the Bat of American.
So I met the royal family of the Mithril Hall.
Maybe.
Wow, that's some luck there. Okay, cool. That's actually pretty cool. That since
So you met your own character.
Oh my god, I met Keth! That's actually pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would know what they are. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess... And what's the symbol on again?
The 16 history is also a success as well. It is the Bat of Emerkvan.
Ah, but have I met them?
It's probably less common for you to have met them with the 16, but it's possible. After all, they're a big clan, right?
Oh,
And
yeah,
if you are from the area to the northeast of here, you could potentially have met them, or to the east from here, I guess. So we're already super far north.
I'm more from Strict
They did
Town, but
They
I
did
walk
live
around.
here at some point. Yeah, they did live here at some point. It is possible that you have simply seen the symbol because it is a part of history, and that's because you have met them in person.
Hmm.
Right. Either way, the polar bears seem to have agreed to take you towards the town. So, are you simply traveling alongside the polar bears? Are you getting in the car? Who is actually taking? Oh no, I know for sure that Story is the one that is going to take the wagon because he has van vehicles proficiency. Yep, van vehicles proficiency. No one actually has that. Except this guy. Look at that. Let me need to make a check. Oh my god!
Solid.
I say we keep the wagon.
Forever.
Indeed.
With that check, the wagon becomes your fine state.
Nice.
No.
No. Oh.
Either way, you travel. Mikashi is traveling by the wagon while chatting with the bears. The animal friendship, the speak with animals lasts for a good amount of time, right? 10 minutes. It's not too good, but it is a pleasant talk as you are traveling there. Since you are keeping them entertained as they are pulling the wagon, and you had the animal friendship attempt, you have the purchase of animal friendship, you are the druid yourself. I will say, go ahead and make another persuasion check to see how they are treating you. This time actual persuasion. Because it's specifically, the idea is that it's linked directly to charisma and not to wisdom in this case. Persuasion, 16, very good. So you managed to make... I'm not sure how Mikishi themselves are when it comes to talking with people or how good you are as a conversationalist. But it seems like while talking with these polar bears, it is quite easy for you to do so. The polar bears. Okay, now I need a polar bear generator. Polar bear name generator.
Oh boy.
Okay, first we have. Oh, these are perfect. On the left we have Tundra, and on the right we have. Flaky.
Flaky.
Yeah. The one that spoke previously first was knowing how it speaks. The one who was talking first beforehand was Thunder.
I hope you don't mind. I went ahead and put the loot I found onto the party loot for you.
Good. All right. So, you guys begin making your way through the snow back towards the city of Grinchandar. And you guys weren't that far away. So within a matter of a couple of hours, you guys return back to Brinchender with still some light on the day, quite a bit actually. But I mean, okay, sorry, that was a terrible way to word that. There is no light; it's an everlasting night of winter, but it's still quite early in the day. Either way, you guys arrive back at the tavern in Brinchender easily enough. It seems that the dwarfs who had so much gear equipped that it sounded like they were muffled when they spoke. It seems that they are still there and they're still muffled. But other than the people that we've met beforehand, there seems to be one more person. Your best mate, can you describe your character?
Sure. Anai is an elven woman, about 5'5", standing, pale skin, black hair, brown eyes. In her hair and irises of her eyes, she has streaks of orange, red, and yellow, like autumn leaf colors. She is wearing clothes that look like they were once fine, made of some silk with brocade patterns, but they look very worn and kind of beat up. Over those clothes, she's wearing a mismatched parka that looks kind of shoddily made from tanned hides. She does have a very fine-looking weapon with her, though, which is a double-bladed scimitar. And I'll post the art. Which is kind of incongruous with the rest of her disheveled looking attire.
Thank you, Cinder. I'll fix that immediately. All right. Can the rest of you please describe your own characters? Just since your best mate was not here. I assume Cinder is writing. Can you go first, Snack?
Yep. So, Liara is an elven woman as well. Her ears have a little bit more round to them than a point than I'm guessing normal elves would have. Her skin is a dark gray color, while her hair is a midnight black. And the clothes she wears are fitting for snow country, thick robes with raven kind of feathers on her shoulders and a deep emerald kind of colored irises.
All right. What about Jurat?
Well, Jurat is very obviously a drow elf, although they are not entirely unheard of here in Icewind Dale. Still a rare sight. He stands just barely 5'8" and looks rather on the weathered side, as if he's been living out in the climate for quite some while. He wears head to toe winter clothing along with his leather armor. Maybe dressed to ward off the sunlight, but he could just as well be attired for the climate. Of particular note on his person is a beautiful bow he carries, made of a strange silvery wood. And if one looks very closely at it, you might see a single thorn upon the bowstring. And that is Jurat.
I will let the players who are not here, describe their characters to you next week, but I will show you the art that they picked. This is Omar, who I don't know much about yet, and this is Thor.
Nice.
Mikishi is also there. Mikishi's a tall human man. He seems to be normal. He seems to be normal other than his habit to randomly stop and listen as if to an unseen voice. He is dressed in hardy leathers that have seen better days. He has a shoddy shield on his back, and generally seems as if he has seen better days. He does have one item of note, a very finely made mace on his hip. As for the NPCs that are currently in this scene, there are 4 different people. One of them, who I bet, was talking with you as you arrived. Sorry, I didn't get your name yet. It is Anai. Anai? Anai?
Ni, yeah.
Anai. All right. So now, I bet that the same person that I talked to the party before then was going to say the exact same tale towards you. Speaking about not necessarily in the show as because the way she tried to talk to the old tavern beforehand was more of a bit of a storytelling kind of thing, where she was addressing the tavern as a whole. But seeing that a newcomer arrived who might not be necessarily accustomed to this place, she went ahead and warned you about the murders that had occurred, and with pretty much the information that I gave you at the start of the session.
Okay.
She is an older dwarf woman. And her name is... Let's see, let me get the names again. Her name is... Man, I'm so bad at names. Vintrobane. Like that.
Okay.
On top of that, there's the innkeeper himself. If you have been to this tavern before, you would know that the innkeeper himself used to be an adventurer a long time ago, and as such, he is quite aware of how the money comes when it comes to adventuring. Right? How sometimes you spend days and days and days without making a single coin, and then suddenly you get quite rich. And it seems that he is completely understandable of this until he decides that you have had enough, at which point he will demand for the payment, and those that do not meet the expectations of paying up on time are quickly disappointed. He is a rough man, and he seems to know what he's doing. Finally, there's also the two dwarf, one woman and 2 men, who are all wearing so many clothes that they seem to be completely engulfed by them, and they're even talking like this. It seems like they're muffled as they talk. She, however, the dwarf lady who had contracted the rest of the party for the trip to face the goblins, is very happy to see you arrive. She says,
"Oh, you're back so soon. I expect good news then?"
Well, the good news is your iron was found intact. The poor news is that your companion was not.
Less so, yes.
Well, I did see his leg kind of being bit off the giant, so I can't say I'm surprised. But I'm glad that at least you managed to recover the loot. Where did the goblins have it?
Yes, it was goblins, Gerard replies. Quite a few of them, actually, and they had a rather, well, for them, a rather good setup. You can go out and see the wagon for yourself.
Oh, I do want to see that. I'm curious. And she
accompanies you outside as she says,
what about the Yetis? Did you see the Yeti?
No Yeti, just goblins, a horde of them.
Consider yourself so lucky then. That was so pleasant to see.
But either way, she follows you outside and examines this wagon and sees that the polar bears seem to... Like, at first she sees the polar bears and she kind of takes a step back before realizing that they are somewhat docile at the moment. And she looks towards you guys and says,
Impressive. I have your payment right here.
and she goes over to a small pouch that she carries on one of the many pockets of her jackets. And she removes a small pouch and removes removes 5 gems that are worth 10 gold pieces each and gives 1 to each of you. Not towards your best mate, of course.
These gems are worth about 10 gold pieces, so I expect this to be an agreeable payment, yes?
Well, for me, it is more than agreeable. It will help to subsist with what.
Perfect, then. Well, I will get some way to... Okay, hold on. Give me... Wait, are you guys keeping this wagon? In that case, you know what? Do you mind waiting about an hour or so? I could definitely use a new car to take all of these waggles. After all, it is a lot of supplies.
Even to my ears, Trot says, as he pinches the bridge of his nose, you're rather difficult to understand. If you're asking to buy the wagon, why do we not sell it to them? We have nothing to pull it with.
Well, you know what? Instead of waiting, how about you escort it to where I need to go? It's not very far from here.
Oh, I've nothing better to do. I don't believe I'll find the answers I'm seeking in Bryn Chonder.
She doesn't even wait for everyone else to give their answer. And as soon as there is an agreement from Jurat, she immediately begins walking away with it and says,
Come on, then, go on.
"Oh, okay, we are now contemplating the pure things to the ground."
Oh no, there's no need for that. It's just on the other side of the town. It takes about like 2 minutes to get there.
Gerard goes chasing after the dwarven woman with an exhausted sigh. He's normally very quiet, patient sort, but she's trying him.
Either way, yeah, unhappy as you might be, you guys escort her not very far away to a place by the name of Vacuran Blades business. And I will review you guys some things on this map. So you guys were here on the Norfolk, and you are going to there. Do you see it? You don't see it. Let's go to advanced. Move to back. Haha! All right. So as you can see, it is not very much of takeaway out of your trip. After all, you guys entered through the north gate, and simply are traveling all the way over to the edge of the street after stopping by the Northwood to tell her. She says,
The Blacker on Blades is where we were meant to take the ingots, so...
I should imagine
So-
the locals will be grateful for them. Iron must be difficult to come by in the storms.
You can say that twice.
And weapons twice as needed as they used to be.
all right. So you guys begin making your way to. You guys get all the way to the Vagrant Vines in a matter of 1 minute or two. It is a combination of a shop and a smithy that stands just north of the main square of town. It seems to be owned by another dwarf by the name of Garm the Hammer, who manufactures quite very cheap weapons over here. They're not the best quality, but his sister Elsa also sells adventuring supplies like rations and cold weather gear and etc., like ice picks, snowshoes, to people who stop by in order to take their chances against the weather. For those of you that have been here for a longer time, you would know that most of the veterans, the veteran sellswords over in 10 towns, know that the quality of the weapons is very shady, and as such try to stay away from it unless they are completely helpless. There are many jokes told about newcomers that end. There's jokes told about the Apis commoners to Icewind Dale that often end with a vine, and he was carrying a Bacuran blade to boot. He was carrying a Bacuran blade to boot.
That's a lot of bees.
Yep, that's the point. Basically just saying that the weapons sunk. And of course they were found dead because the weapons sunk. Either way, you guys, in a matter of a minute or so, get the supplies off the wagon and go on your way back to the North Look easily enough. He says,
Thank you!
And thank Mother Salune that is done with. Geralt says as he walks away from the dwarven woman, perhaps a little faster than he normally would.
You hear, as you're making your way away, you hear in the distance.
If I need more adventures, I'll call you.
She just yells out into the other side of the street as you guys are walking away from her.
And Geralt just keeps on going. Nope.
Nope. You guys make it to the North Look easily enough, carrying your wagon. The polar bears are definitely feeling a bit uncomfortable at being inside a town such as this. But at the same time, the same can be said about the people that are on the streets who very quickly will close their windows or shutters and make their way inside their rooms and give you guys a good 10 to 15 feet of distance from the wagon and the polar bears. Either way, at this moment, it seems that they are still somewhat content with finishing the job. Where are you going now?
Well, Geralt does agree that they should release the polar bears outside of the gates.
All right, you make it to the north gate easily enough and quickly pass through the defenses in order to release the polar bears. If that is your intention, that is easily done. You guys go past the north gate. Mikishi goes over and carefully releases the bonds that tie the polar bears together and to the wagon. And the polar bears quickly make their way to the wagon and begin grabbing goblin corpses by their mouth.
So I think Anai would have been curious. She probably would have noticed that there were polar bears.
Yes.
Being used to haul a cart, and
Definitely, you would have noticed this. You can follow them if you'd like.
Yeah, I think she would have followed just out of curiosity to see what the hell was going on. And she'll approach once they start grabbing the goblin corpses and say to Liare, excuse me, but what's going on here?
Snack.
Is there a problem?
I'm just curious about what's happening. I don't think I've ever seen a sight like this.
Mikishi says, we struck a deal with the bears.
You've never seen polar bears before?
Well, no. I also haven't seen wild animals brought into a town and then paid with humanoid corpses afterward.
Well, we were able to convince the bears to help us with this task.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing to worry about.
Yes, I suppose it ended up safe enough. No one else was harmed. It's interesting talents that you have, that you were able to charm animals this way. Or negotiate.
The
yeah.
heavily armored man. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. You first.
Oh yes, I was just going to ask. As we pass by the Northlook, could Gerard duck inside and maybe buy, say, a couple pieces of venison for the bears?
That would be expensive, but yeah. After all, food is a scarcity right now. But yes, you could potentially get some nicer meat for the bears. Yes, let's say mark down the gold piece, or like 5 silver pieces. But yeah, food is scarce. Either way, what I was about to say, still in the same conversation, you notice the armored man. It seems to be human, and the folk surgeon says, "And who might you be? I can't say we've met you before, have we? At least I have not."
Oh, no. I don't think I've seen you before. I'm very new to this place. My name is Anai. And she'll offer a hand to shake.
He kind of looks at the end for a second, not sure if he should or not, before he accepts the handshake. As I'm Stor.
Good to meet you.
You as well.
So what have y'all been doing? You seem to have just finished a job for those folks that I saw in the tavern.
We've got to seen the sights around.
Mm-hmm.
You know, lots of snow and whatnot.
Yeah, that's most of what I've seen is lots of snow.
I'll wait to see what Mikishi is. We are hunting a group at the moment. Star says, yeah, I'm sure you've heard about the killings.
I did, yes. You're seeking the people responsible, or the person?
You could say that. We haven't officially discussed it yet, but there was some coinciding goals, I guess is a way to say it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that sounds like a worthy cause. I am a bit aimless at the moment. Like I said, I'm very new to this place, and I could be helpful potentially in that endeavor.
Have you come for the opportunities that came along with the snow?
I arrived here not entirely by choice, but all things considered, I'm happy to be here compared to where I was before.
He gives a nod, acknowledgement.
Well, welcome to Icewind Dale, Gerard says, under his soft tone. You've made your way here at a rather inopportune time. Not that this is hospitable land in the best of days.
Mm-hmm.
As you feed the polar bears with the venison, it seems they quickly stop feasting on the. They don't. They drop the goblins they were carrying as they eat the venison quite pretty much immediately, right? Before they go back to try and collect the goblins. It seems that they're trying to carry as many goblins in their face in their maws as possible. And it is a bit grotesque. There's a bit of guts and blood and gore everywhere, and the white fur has turned red. But nonetheless, unless you stop them somehow, the polar bears are making their way northwards and into the wilderness. It seems that each of them manages to carry 3 goblins on their maw, which is quite a decent number. That means there are basically 2 goblins left with you guys.
Hmm.
Oh, all right. Go ahead and make an animal handling check, considering that you that they were already on the way of going, and you're approaching a wild bear with food on its maw. Okay. Considering that you have spoken with it before, I'll give you advantage on that one. You quickly tie the 2 ropes together to one of the. You quickly tie the rope to each of the goblins and basically put it almost as if it were a side saddle on one of the polar bears. The polar bear doesn't, since he's not currently under any of the spells, seems a bit confused at this, but nonetheless seems to realize that this is helpful. So he just walks away carrying it.
Well, did you have any immediate plans for where to search next for these people responsible for these murders?
There was some mention of a town nearby.
There are many nearby. It's a question of which one is next on their route. They, I believe, take a route through all the 10 towns.
I believe that the old lady had said care something. Kerkenig?
Kerkenig, yes. It is not particularly far.
I can't say I've ever traveled this land. I'm not familiar with how far it would take us. We need some beasts. Mikeshi says we need some beasts of burden now. We are willing to offer our funds to this. Are there even beasts of burden for sale on this town? Something that can survive this weather and carry a wagon as well. That is, if we don't get rid of the wagon.
Geralt adds to that, you may be better served with ridding yourselves of the wagon. It's largely useless timber, but there is iron, no doubt, within, and I'm sure the blacksmith would appreciate that.
The iron was given to the blacksmith already.
I mean to say iron used in constructing.
In the construction of the wagon itself. Yes. There are some. There isn't much, but there is definitely some. It's mostly made out of wood, though. But yeah, there are pieces of metal that have managed to keep the structure intact properly. Because she says we are not sure traveling light is smart. Star says, think after I seen the druid convince polar bears to work for us, I'm willing to take their consultation on this.
I am accustomed to traveling with what is carried on my back, but if you feel there will be a need.
I've outfitted myself with the little bit of money I have to have food for maybe a little over a week. What would you need to carry with a pack animal? That's a fair point.
Or, those long treks that could take us over terrain that we cannot pass, but they can.
I will defer to the experience of those who've survived in places like this.
For those of you that have been in this place for a while, you know that there are indeed beasts available for purchase. Not many, but there are 2 types of beasts that are available for purchase. Domesticated dogs, svet dogs, and domesticated axe beaks. However, a single animal would cost about 50 gold pieces.
Draught comments, you might find, a sled dog or an axe beak here in, at least serviceable condition, but it would cost the entire sum we found in this wagon and the dwarf's reward just to get one of them. They're in very short supply.
We would certainly be safer, that's for sure.
Would that we had enough dogs to pull a sled. That would carry us quite far, quite fast.
For those that have used svet dogs before, they can pull a single one can pull 360 pounds.
Yeah, bears be strong.
No, not a dog.
Oh, dog. Yeah,
A dog.
that works.
A svet dog. A single dog can pull 360 pounds. On the other hand, an axe beak can carry just as much weight as a mole, which I assume is more than that. How much does a mule how much can a mule carry? It can carry 420.
If we were to somehow perhaps double the entirety of the profit we made, you might buy 2. Which means our more immediate concern would be finding another task to profit from rather than immediately taking the wagon somewhere.
Store says, this is a big town. Is that really the best price we can do? 50 gold pieces for a simple dog?
I am a drow, friend. I consider myself fortunate when they do not stab me in the back. Generally, they at least, just the arm or a leg. I've worked my way up from the beginning.
I can't say I envy you. Oh, I am not one to... I'm not one to do such a thing. But I am willing to put some gold pieces of my own into it. You believe that a dog or an axe beak, you said, is the best way to do it. How about those potions you found? Could we perhaps sell those? Or one of them?
We might. I'm sure these two are in short supply in these times. Well, and I should say virtually everything is. These people are used to regular trade between the 10 towns, and now it's not even guaranteed that one can survive the trip. I'm sorry, the trout join our party.
Both the mule and the sweat dogs are CR14. Sorry, both the axe peak and the sweat dog are CR14. How so?
I believe she wants to buy one axe beak and then she would wild shape into the other.
Interesting. Would you be able to do that for one period of times?
A question for her to answer. My work is more in the blood, shall we say.
Yeah, I noticed that thing you did with the bow. That was impressive.
Huh?
Oh, nothing.
Yeah, you as well, but not what I was getting at. You can't do CR14 yet?
Actually, I wonder, Geralt being, well, proficient in alchemy, might he be able to, well, if the party consents, might he be able to sell the potions for our collective treasury?
I am sure you could sell this potion. I imagine that this potion in particular is quite useful. If you were to be able to, I imagine that this potion in Brinchander can sell quite fast. Even if you guys don't know exactly how yet, but you have some participation in alchemy, some experience in alchemy. As such, you can find the buyer even easier. But after all, I mean, they raise animals here, they tame animals here. Something that can potentially something that you can potentially drink, and then for an hour, do the best training of an animal's life that will stay with them forever.
Well, I pass through Bryn Chandra often between the 10 towns. I know of some local alchemists, but if any of you are perhaps a touch more skilled in conversation than I, you might fetch a better price. And a touch less feared by the locals, I should add.
Ikishi says, we should say that people find us strange.
Strange, yes, we are a strange lot. But if anyone so wishes, Geralt will lead the way to an alchemist he might know of. And if no one goes with him, he'll do his best on his own.
I would at the very least like to accompany you and to get a feel on how trade works in this land.
At the moment, it is more bartering than coin. Supplies are so rare, people trade what they have for what they need more than metal. But we may be able to find some coin. Down the street this way, I remember an alchemist I've had to buy supplies from time to time. He deals with me, which says more about him than many.
Well, either way then. I'm sure we'll make good use of this. Shall we sell one or two? Or it depends on the price we get offered.
I should, well, for my part, I would suggest waiting to see what they offer you after a bit of haggling. Well, in my case, I wouldn't dare to risk haggling. I would see if they offer me anything at all, but perhaps you can do better.
Omar says, I shall try to assist with this. Alright, does anyone have proficiency in persuasion or investigation?
I have investigation.
I do
All
not.
right. For those that have proficiency in investigation, or whoever, what's your bonus?
+5.
Oh yeah, go ahead and roll an investigation check. Let's say that this is a group effort to try to sell this potion to make enough funds for.
Okay.
I will also say that probably Gerard is the one that is basically showing people around and selling the options about your experience in Rinchander and the people that are around here. But even then, you know the right questions to ask to find the right information. 20-7.
Who needs Gerard?
I walk down the street, and the first thing I walk straight through the door of an alchemist's shop
Yeah,
without meaning to.
it seems my services are not needed here.
Well, 27. All right. So as you begin making your way around town, trying to ask around for people about where you could potentially sell this for the bigger price, for the best price, some people end up telling you that you should probably wait for the traveling merchant. But you quickly brush those aside, realizing that the price that the traveling merchant would offer is not good whatsoever. As such, you instead make your way to the actual business that breeds and sells animals, right? The same place where you could potentially buy a sweat dog or an axe beak. There's a couple more places, two or three places that are different. It's not just one single business that does this. There's two or three places that are different. One that specializes in sweat dogs and sweats themselves, and one that specializes in axe beaks and just the raising of them. And there's also one that specializes in wagons themselves. Either of these three businesses could prove to buy the potion for much better prices, as not only do they have money themselves because of being businesses that are needed much, but also because they can find use of the potion themselves in case they wish to try to train animals who are out of the ordinary or a bit more difficult or just not working well together.
I would suggest the stable, which is down this way, trains axe beaks. If we're going to keep the wagon, then we might as well take the stronger of the beasts. We must think of who is the wagon carrying, what might we need to load. We will need a strong beast of burden. Sled dogs are accustomed to carrying smaller loads.
All right. You begin making your way to the stable itself. You guys all as a group begin making your way to the stable itself. And you see that there are indeed quite a good amount of animals here. That seems to be 6 or so adults that are currently being taken care of. 6 or so adult axbeaks that seem to be taken care of, as well as 3 that seem to be much younger and staying by their mothers. The axe beaks, you notice that there is some sound coming from behind the proper stable, right? From behind the business proper. That seems to be an axe beak. That seems to be struggling. You also hear a human voice. You don't quite have sight on this person yet, unless you would go around the business. But the business itself, basically it's almost like a stable, right? That the entrance to the stable would be where they would have a business proper, and they would be able to talk with you. But there is noise coming from behind the stable as well.
Gerard would hand off the potions to one of his companions, and just out of curiosity, he'll walk halfway around the building to see if he might get a better catch of what's being said. Peculiar noise.
All right. As you begin making your way around the stable, Mikishi follows as well. Walks over towards the sound of the struggling beast. The first thing you notice is that this axe beak is a different color than the others. Most of the axe beaks in this region are actually just pure white, right? Very, very much white with golden beaks and quite long feathers. This one in particular, however, seems to be just completely black. And it seems that it is there is currently an attempt to tame this creature. And the axbeak itself seems to be aggressive, right? It doesn't seem to want to put the sandal on. It doesn't let the human that is trying to take care of him, it doesn't let him put the rope around his beak. He is just struggling against it and against the rope on his neck and trying to break free. It is pretty much an attempt to break a wild beast.
Gerard's peering around the corner at this site, and he comments, "I believe that's a sale opportunity for the potions, but were it my decision, I would cut the beast loose. And then again, I have been in its position before."
When it comes to the words that they are speaking, it seems to be this time a human man, not a dwarf this time. It is a man that is a bit on the older side, maybe about the 60s or so, about the 60 years or so. And he seems to be speaking simply in a way to try to calm the beast. But even though he seems quite decent at this, judging by everyone's usual animal handling, right? Like your experience with animals around. It seems that the axbeak is not proving to be neither the normal when it comes to taming an axbeak, but also way more aggressive and stronger.
Perhaps Gerard suggests we could divide our profits. This axbeak is worthless to him as it behaves, but with the potion, we might calm it and purchase it and sell the other. And he ultimately makes a profit. He would never sell an axbeak like this.
Or,
You approach. Okay, go ahead.
I was going to say, or if we could attempt to help tame the creature without the use of the potion, we might ingratiate ourselves to them and be able to sell the potions for more. It seemed like Mikishi was pretty good with those polar bears. I wonder if you could make an attempt.
Mikishi, if you would like to try, you might offer. They're just very dangerous beasts, I'm sure you know.
All right, Mikishi, before you roll, I want you to describe this a bit better, right? I want to know what you're doing exactly. Like, not exactly, right? But I want a general idea of what you're doing. You cast a prayer upon yourself, and do you approach the man? Do you say anything as you approach?
And the Gerard, for his part, is
Yeah. You're doing the old thing of moving slowly with both of your arms, showing that with both arms kind of non-threatening in a non-threatening way, and just walking step by step as you're approaching. Do you say anything? Oh,
Crisp red Jurassic Park.
mind link.
To any creature you see. Ooh,
Chris, I
fancy.
must be able to understand at least one language.
Must be able to understand. Okay, so you're talking to the owner. So what do you say to the owner? Right, as you get the message onto the human's head, for a second he just looks scared and acts in a way that makes the axe speak even a bit wilder. But as you say the words, "We have a way with animals," usually, he realizes that someone is approaching, looks back at the axe speak and says, "Careful there, lassie. This is a dangerous beast."
And I will have approached within 30 feet, following a little bit behind Mikishi. Or actually, 40 feet, rather.
Mm-hmm. If you say you have a way with animals, you can go ahead and try, but be careful.
Well, it worked out well last time, so why wouldn't it this time?
Doesn't he? Just. Alright. Here's the. He looks over towards Mikishi and then the leash. Slowly. Once again, he's like being in a non-threatening manner. As soon as the leash goes from as soon as the human goes and makes the effort to give you the leash, right? In that one moment of hesitation, you immediately see the axe be pushed towards the leash, trying to get it off your hand during the trail. Can you make me both nanoving and check and an athletics check? Very good, 20.
I'm sorry, who's rolling?
Just Mikishi right now.
Okay.
Right. So as you grab, one compensates for the other, so it's not a big deal. Basically, as you grab as you basically, okay, so he's passing the rope slowly towards you, the rope that you're supposed to put around its beak, and it is the rope that he also has the axe beak also has the rope around its neck, right? And it seems that the rope around the neck was so much easier to put, even though you normally don't even keep these animals with a rope around the neck, right? You normally keep it around the beak itself. Due to the way that the beak is shaped, the rope wouldn't get out of the beak, but would get easier out of the neck because it would get very loose through the head. As he slowly gives you the rope that's around his neck, the axe beak notices that moment of hesitation and gives a quick push. And as you grab it, you kind of feel yourself going towards it, and kind of losing balance for just a second. But you withstand, as simply the way that you're touching the rope, it shows that you are not afraid. It shows that you're not a threat, and you do exactly as you mentioned. You You look at it, you calm it down slowly. The Axbeak is still a bit nervous and kinda stepping side to side and making noises as he does. He's not completely taken care of, but he has calmed down a bit, at least enough to not push you or escape. Not a good berry? Alright, do you send it over to the air or do you like go with your hand to approach towards it? My hand, okay. So as you slowly approach towards the Axby with the bead on your hand, with the goodberry in your hand, I would like you to make another animal handling check. No guidance this time, no time for it. 16. No, actually 25. You're offering it food. All right, 25. That's a natural 20. You
watching.
slowly approach with the goodberry, and you kind of let go of the rope. And the Axbeak does a bit of a strut as he puffs out his chest and kind of scratches the ground with its claws before it realizes that you are not scared, that you are not running, that you're showing no hesitation. And so the Axbeak approaches, takes the goodberry out of your hand, throws it into the air, eats it with one go. No tasting, just swallowing. Yet, the Axbeak seems much calmer. It is not pleasant in the way that he is not like tamed in the way that he goes up to you and cuddles you, right? But but he is at the very least calm at this moment. The man says, "I'll be damned, that was a amazing show. I've been doing this for years and I've never seen one such as this." Well, I must thank you about this. Thank you for this. It would be problematic if the Axby got loose in the middle of town. That would prove to not go very well for me. So thank you. I'm afraid I haven't seen you in town. Oh, I think I've seen Gerald, was it? And he looks at everyone now. He looks at everyone and says, "Well, it is my pleasure to have you over at my business tonight, as that was quite helpful. Were you here to purchase something?" We have a few Axpeaks for sale right now. I'm not so sure if this one's ready for it. We also have the Axpeaks that are already domesticated. Those are 50 gold pieces each. There's about 4 of them available now. Really now? Impressive. You're not swindling me, are you? You know what? If that potion really works as you say it do, I'll trade you this axe pick for it.
Or one of them.
For one potion. As much as I think this potion might be very helpful, I am still a sucker for the classics. I would rather trust on my own training and keep this for a desperate measure than as a normality. Indeed. The egg was different from the others, completely black. And even as it was born, it never got accustomed to humans. Perhaps. It is only a bit over a year old now. Could very well be what you say then. I either got very lucky or very unlucky. What we see in the future. What do you say? There go for a gamble. Could be blessed by Ordo, or could be a curse by Ordo. CPB, a unique specimen. Either way, I would trade it for one potion. Oh, thank you. It is very much appreciated. We have a deal then? Very good, very good. I will throw in a saddle for free. You're going to have to put it on it yourself, though. I will also throw in food to cover it for 10 days or so. All right, now out of character, this is an axe beak that is stronger than an axe beak. I am going to increase its strength by D4.
Oh, wow.
Now, so a regular axe beak has 14 strength. So I ask, Mikishi, the trade was on Jurad's side, but the actual quote-unquote taming of the beast, and the reason that you even got this deal, was because of the way you acted. Mikishi, would you like to roll the D4 yourself?
Let's go. Big money.
Come on, 4. Come on, 4. Ooh, 17. Not bad.
Still
Could
good.
be worse. It gets another +1 on top.
Still good. Still good.
Still pretty good. The good thing is that since it's for carry white, right? Every single point matters. It's not about the modifier, it's about every single point individually. So instead of 14, it has 17 strength. And I will get you guys a next big stat block. It is a she. By the way, this is what an axe beak regularly looks like in this snow area. This one, however, is a she, and she is a bit bigger than regular.
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
And we can get a point on Chocobo. And if you guys find some art of a dark axe beak, we can definitely use it. You guys find some art that you like, or colorize this one. That would be cool as well. Maybe put this one through a filter, because this original art is very good. And I will make a copy of this sheet. Which is not available to everyone. No, hold on. I will keep the copy available to everyone and remove the other one. And if you guys get some art for it, or if you put it through a filter to make it dark instead, back further instead, that is good. Or, hold on. Save changes. Okay, and copy of Axpeak, edit. All players. And you are free to rename it as you wish.
Pointy.
It has no name, as it never allowed itself to be tamed properly. And that is how they do things here. Once they're tamed is when they name them, so they don't get too attached. And the difference is that his strength is 17, and his hit points are increased by 1d10 plus 1. Not very good. 21 hit points instead. As in 4d10 plus 4. There you go. I think there is. I'm not absolutely sure how to do this, but there is a way. I just don't quite know how it works on Roll20. Oh, you posted a picture in general? It's kind of goofy. I like it. You guys want to go with that picture or something a bit more serious? Both work. It's a general chat on this server. Is that just a regular chocobo? Hey, look at that one. The image of that one is low quality though, but that one is even cooler. All right, but let's worry about that after the session. Right? So we don't waste the full. Wait, what time is it? Oh yeah, it's super early. Okay, so yeah, that is a good picture. But yeah, so we don't lose all the session time trying to play around with the chocobo and make tokens of a chocobo. Let's go ahead and continue the session because there's more to it. If you guys wish to do more. Either way, the strength means that he has 17 times 15. Wait, is that how it works? That's not fun. Oh, this is its carry weight, but it has a pull weight that's different. I think that's how it works.
Is it like variant encumbrance rules?
I think so.
I think it's times 5 for the base Times 5 for base that determines whether you're encumbered or not.
So basically, a mule has a speed of 40 feet and a carrying capacity of 420. I would just say the carrying capacity myself. I'm going to make it 600 pounds. It is bigger after all. I'll just make it 600 pounds carry capacity instead of the usual 420. It's a pretty big increase. But there's also the capability that it is not fully domesticated, right? It might require checks at multiple points in time. Might be. Sells. Store. So what would you guys want to do next? Store says, I am still willing to pay for my cut if you were to buy a second animal. Over the year, after all. The gems themselves are worth 50, yes? We're worth 5 people. That would get us. That would cover an XP. Salve included. I assume I have some more funds myself. I had 10 gold pieces myself, I believe. So I wouldn't be completely out of money.
Do we know the duration of the trip to Kirkenig?
A trip by foot all the way to the settlement that you go to care. What's it called? Hold on, let me double check here. I believe so. I believe it's Kirkenig. It would be 10 hours by. No, sorry, it's not Kirkenig. It is Care de Neville, and then from Care de Neville to Kirkenig. To Care de Neville, the trip would be 10.5 hours if you were going by foot. If you are on a mount or the dog swan, you can shorten the amount of time.
Just out of character, what was the cart, like a wheeled cart or a sled?
It is an actual cart, the one that was linked to the polar bears.
So is there a road that can be traveled, or?
There are indeed roads that can be traveled, but they will be a bit overrun by snow, but it's still doable.
Okay.
It is more of a Sved. I guess it's more of a Sved than an actual. It's probably a bit more of a Sved than an actual wagon, right? It is. I'll show you the picture again so you can look at it. It seems to have wheels.
Maybe it can be converted or something.
It seems to have wheels, but it seems like well fitted for the snow as well. As long as it doesn't go into very deep snow, should be fine. As long as it doesn't get into very deep and soft snow, it should be very easy to maintain. After all, if that's what they were using, they wouldn't be using it if it was terrible.
So, are we going to purchase another axe beak or try to make do with this one, dragging the cart as it is?
I would be inclined to agree. I imagine that wagon that we have weighs quite a bit. It's quite massive after all. There were 2 powerboats pulling it.
I have a small amount of gold that I can contribute.
I can put in 10 gold pieces. The gemstone. I believe that having an axe pick is in our best interest nonetheless.
I mean, if nothing else, we could sell it at a settlement wherever we arrive. Hopefully, recuperate our money.
Not all of us are as accustomed to the terrain as you are. So 35, 40.
Ooh.
Oh, that's all 50, right? That's all 50. All right. As you guys turn around, call for the owner of the axe peaks once again. He quickly begins to pack up things for 2 axe peaks instead. And you guys have, to your control, 2 axe beaks with 10 days of rations for each, and saddles on each of them, as well as enough rope to tie them up to the wagon itself.
All right. Will we need provisions? I have enough for myself for about a week and a half.
Oh, I believe I have enough for 10 or so days. An axe peak can carry 420. I would prefer to not get to that. I imagine it's not easy hunting in the blizzards.
Okay, anything else we need to do before departing? Let's go.
All right. All right. So as you guys make your way out of Brinchender, all gear on hand, 2 axe beaks, you quickly tie up the axe beaks to the wagon itself. The wagon is still waiting for you at the north gate. We'll say that Tolmar stayed behind to look after it while you guys were off doing this. You come back with the 2 axe beaks. One of them seems more reluctant to go than the other. And even the axe beaks try to stay away from each other. We'll see. Right now, more or less, not great. That's for sure. Either way, you begin making your way as you travel in the cart to another ritual speak with animals. Very good, very good. That is a great idea. And either way, you begin making your way through the snow-covered vans of 10 towns. There are indeed quite a lot of towns around. But your current destination is one of the points that will take a bit to get there. As you are traveling with aid from the axe beaks, you bought 2 axe beaks, your distance is going to be reduced somewhat, but not in an incredible way. Let me double check the overland travel here. Overland travel. All right, so the distance per hour on foot with snowshoes, while also being able to rest on the wagon when the axe beaks are pulling it. The increased speed goes around from half a mile per hour to about 1.5 miles per hour with snowshoes and all right, so normally it would take about 10 and a half hours to get there. Instead, you're going to get there in 7 hours. That does mean, however, that you will arrive there by proper nighttime. You'll be a bit tired for the day by the time you arrive over at Kerkonig. No, sorry, Kerdinaval. So, for those of you that have been in the area before, you might know a bit about Kerdinaval. So let's go ahead and roll history checks.
Alrighty.
For today's session, we are not going to have any overland encounters on the way there. But there are indeed encounters both in Kerdinaval and Kerkenig. So the travel is going to be time skip for this session. And
Okay, no
19 is very good. Yes. No, that's why you even get the check. It's just the DC that changes. Perfect. 19 and 17 are very good. All right, so both of you are aware a bit about Caer de Navel. Caer de Navel, so in generations past, travelers to Caer de Navel had to follow the rocky shore of Vac din Mesher, until after several hours they spied a small fortress, jetting up from the prominence where it overlooks the lake. So, about Caer de Navel itself, it is not the most pleasant of stays there, and it is even questionable if you wish to stay there or simply go for the next locale, right? Because the next location, Caer Konig, it would only be about 2 hours by overland travel, which means you could get out of Caer de Navel and into Caer Konig in about maybe 45 minutes. When it comes to Caer de Navel itself, the friendliness of the locals is not incredibly so. There are very little services or comfort that are taken care here. And it has a bit of a dark story, the town, because for many years the town was overwhelmed by orcs, and it never fully recovered, even after the orcs left. It is up to you if you wish to travel for a bit further during the day, during the early night, or if you wish to stop at Caer de Navel. You can either go to Caer de Navel or Caer Konig within a very short amount of time. When it comes to Caer Konig, I will go ahead and tell you a bit about it as well, which is that it is a much more pleasant town. It actually feels like a town. It actually has services and proper services and comfort and friendliness within the locals. There are taverns that you could easily spend the night at, while in Caer de Navel, the same would not apply.
Gerard proposes we should simply keep going to Caer Konig. Dinaval is not a pleasant place, even for you, and, well, Caer Konig has more to offer us. More to offer the merchant as well. I should imagine we might pick up on Torga's trail there.
Sounds reasonable. It is late at night, correct?
It is going to be, by the time you would arrive, if you were to travel to both towns, you would arrive at about midnight or so.
I would be fine with pushing forward.
Alright, so that's 2. Mikishi doesn't care that much. Store says, I would definitely enjoy a warm bed for the night. If there's no services to be had in Caer Konig, it's best to go to the next one.
Well,
Or did I get confused again with the names?
Yes.
Yes. The other Caer.
Dinaval is this one, but you don't wish to stay here regardless. You will not find warmth of any kind.
Very well then, let's continue our journey. Hopefully there will be no trouble pushing for for about an hour or so more. Alright, so as you guys continue pushing for that extra hour, you instead make your way all the way to Caer Konig. Caer Konig is a decent town. It has a population of around 150 people. It has... The heraldry is this white fish silhouette rising from the center bottom of a dark blue field, which has a white border on all sides but its bottom. Let me show you guys the picture of Caer Konig. This is their symbol. For those that have been in this town before, which I imagine that those that succeeded on the check on the 17 and the 19, I imagine that you've been to this town before at least. As such, you would know that the town speaker is this dragonborn by the name of Trovis, was the who drinks a bit too much.
A bit too much.
A bit too much. Either one. Go ahead.
I was just going to have a bit of dialogue, but if you wanted to add more, please don't let me.
Yeah, I was just going to add one more thing, which is that as you guys first you guys arrive at the other care, right, and begin making your way to Care Koenig, and that is a 3-mile long snow-covered path. It is much better than the road that brought you all the way to Care the Neville. The actual last path takes about 45 minutes, and you arrive there safely, and you see this pleasant town in front of you. And as you guys can see on the map, this is a map to Care Koenig. Go ahead and say whatever you wanted to say.
Geralt comments, well, you'll find your warm bed here at the least, and whatever else we might seek, perhaps word on Torga, if she's not here, we can only hope. As for the rest, it's a friendly enough town. I'm well received when I visit, which again says much of it. The local councilman is dragonborn drunkard, but he does show up for his work.
I think a warm bed would be appreciated by everyone.
Yeah, I do not sleep, but yes, shelter at least. Actually,
you also know that if you were to try to find information or before the night's rest, it would be at the Northern Light, which is the inn. There's also a tavern, though, which is where you can actually probably get a night's sleep. Wait, no, the other way around, right? There's a tavern and an inn.
Right. You might think about...
the inn is the Northern Light.
It would be a good idea to get information.
Perhaps. She sounds as though she's well outfitted to move as she pleases, so we wouldn't wish to fall too far behind.
So which place do you guys go to? The Northern Light or the Ukvine and Sinker? One is a tavern, the other is an inn. The inn is the Northern Light.
Speaking for Geralt, since he doesn't sleep anyway, he'll go to the tavern to see if there's any word on Torga.
All right. So as you begin making your way towards the tavern, the Ukvine and Sinker, what is everyone going? Is anyone pretty tired and wants to go to rest for the night? Because the Northern Lion is a different place. It's okay if you split.
I will go to the tavern, I suppose.
All right. What about Viari? You go to this tavern or the inn? Snack.
Yes.
Do you go to the tavern or the inn? Depends how tired you are.
Do we still need information?
Yeah, it could be helpful, yeah. And some people are going to the tavern right now in order to try to find information before going to sleep at the inn.
The tavern is usually the best place for info, so I'm going to the tavern.
Very well. You guys all go to the tavern in that case, except for Mikishu, who is first taking care of the birds, yes? Really well. So you guys begin making your way to the Ukvine and Singer, and it seems that the blizzard that happened a few hours ago hasn't left this town completely covered in snow. It is, I mean, there is snow on the ground, there's snow on the rooftops, but it's not like in a way that makes it so super uncomfortable to walk around. You guys make it to the Ukvine and Sinker easily enough. For those of you that have been in this tavern, you know that its popularity, it's thanks to the 3 elf pins of ale that that he keeps on the table by the front door. So as you were entering into the tavern itself, you see this table with a bunch of glasses, all elf filled, all elf pins of ale. And as you enter, he immediately rushes up and presses one into each person's hand.
Draught looks startled and perhaps a bit nervous as he's
Welcome,
given a free
welcome.
drink.
Have a taste, and come on and rest. We have a long night ahead of us.
Draught inclines his head in gratitude and pretends to take a sip as he says, "Your hospitality is most welcome. I have not been through in some time."
I believe I keep an eye out when there's other elves about, and I see that multiple of you are elves, yet I don't know most of you. And he says, "My name is Glenn," and he gives a bit of an elf bow as he hands you the drinks. And you can see that he is elf himself.
Draught, and I cannot speak for the others, but I'm not usually the welcome sort of elf, so the hospitality is appreciated twice over.
Well, come on in, it's warm inside.
Speaking of warmth, we were actually looking for something rumored to be rather cold. Merchant, Torga Axbane, I believe, and her new bodyguard.
Oh, yes, I believe that she is coming this way.
Ah, we are ahead of her.
She should be able to arrive tomorrow if our schedule is correct, but sometimes she has delays, sometimes she beats us to it. But there are more delays than times she beats us to it. I haven't heard of her being in town in about a 10 day or so. So I imagine that she is about to come by any day now.
Oh, I would warn you about the merchandise, but I'm sure you've heard.
I have heard indeed, yes. There have been some nasty business happening.
Yes, this bodyguard of hers, we've been told that he dresses himself as though he were on the Sword Coast rather than in Icewind Dale.
I see. I can't say for sure that I have heard about this man. Who said he wears best clothes than everyone else? Some sort of
He somehow manages with ordinary clothing, not furs, not heavy wool, nothing. Ordinary clothing, we're told. How, I do not know.
interesting.
What
Best
concerns
to keep an eye out then.
Yes, and we're rather concerned with these rumors that, well, in their wake, there are dead people, daggers of ice in their hearts.
I have heard about people who have been killed, but he thinks for a second. Give me a second to look up a note here.
Mm-hmm.
Drop mutters under his breath, no doubt some foolishness and trying to appease Auril, like most of the sacrifices.
is. I'm not so sure about this. I'm afraid I don't know much about it yet. I've heard about that the people who were killed were found in the towns of what was it? There were 3 different people killed, yes?
So we've heard.
Is the first time I heard about this was when was that? You can clearly see that he seems to have drunk a few of his own as well. He is reacting a bit slowly to this and like trying to make conversation as he's doing his job, but at the same time probably curing his own buzz.
Drott continues to pretend that he's drinking the ale and awkwardly tries to return the conversation.
There have been 3 murders in East Haven, Targos, and Bryn Shander.
Yes, we've just come from Brinchander.
I see. Well, I can't say for sure. I would definitely keep an eye out then if there's someone suspicious about.
And when did you say the caravan is supposed to arrive?
I imagine they'll arrive tomorrow. Or perhaps the day after. Sometimes there are delays in the snowy areas.
How have things been locally? What sacrifices the town making? I believe they're all foolish, but what is happening here?
Well, we are sacrificing food.
Well, thankfully, in Brinchander, I believe they're sacrificing lives.
Bryn Shander? No,
Or
I don't
some.
believe so. That's not what I heard.
It's hard to keep track with the
I
nonsense.
heard that. Oh yes, it's Sorry, my mind is a bit Perhaps it would be best to talk about this seriously in the morning. And he just raises a cup and quickly shrugs it. What I'll say is, I believe that she is set to arrive tomorrow. If not tomorrow, the day after. But we are not sacrificing any people to such a dumb rumor.
And, if I may ask, how do you keep such a supply of ale? Like, you can freely leave it on the table.
Well, you see, you know the name of this place?
Well, yes, but
I think I get it.
yeah.
First one's always free.
Ah, yes, town language, of course.
The hook. The free drink at the start. Normally it gets people going and talkative. And they order the first and the second and the third ring. That's the wine. Then, of course, there's a time that it comes to pay. That's the singer.
Yeah, well, at least you're honest about your methods. I will give you that.
Hey, it is well known at this point. It's, we've been in business for a while.
And I will give you, one less tankard wasted. I do not drink, if we're being equally honest.
I'll just put it back on the table. That's fine.
Well, day then. I believe we can stay here. We opted to just simply pass Caer Dineval by. It's I know it to be unpleasant.
Oh, yeah, the lever was, questionable. This is a much safer place. I'm afraid we don't have, you're saying staying for the night. I'm afraid we don't have rooms.
Well, I do not know whether the inn will accommodate me or not. It changes every
I
time I visit the
imagine it.
towns.
I imagine it does. They're usually, that old fool, Drovers, he would fight everyone if they were to be racist. And he just kind of begins falling asleep on the table, drinking a sip.
Gerard looks a little conflicted and he comments, I wonder if we should lock the door behind us?
Oh, no, I still... he just kind of grabs the pint of flame that he's drinking and throws it at his own face and kind of slaps the shake's boat 2 or 3 times. I still got this. I still have a few hours to go.
Oh, dude.
Now, you need a drink, right? You all need some drinks.
Oh,
That information wasn't all for free, of course.
Yes.
In this case, it seems that the information was the hook. Come on, None. Everyone, a drink. Silver pieces on the table.
Well, just your luck. I carry only gold and not much of it.
Yeah, that will be for everyone then. Come on.
Fine. And Gerard plucks a gold piece from his very limited supply and reluctantly drops it in his hands.
Ah, good. He quickly puts it on there. He quickly goes behind the counter and gets an actual pent file for everyone and puts it back onto the table that you guys are now sitting on. If you guys don't twist it, if you guys don't twist it, it's fine.
Gerard quickly says, "I'm not paying for more anything, not ale."
Hey, the elf pint was free. The elf pint was free. That's the hook. And he just goes over the same thing again. That's the hook. Then you sit around and have a few drinks. That's the wine. And then you say the sinker actually has 2 meanings.
I would imagine the drunk's on the floor.
Well, what time is it? You know what? I'm feeling kind of tired. And he goes over to a bell and kind of rings it loudly and says, Westcall! And the vocals see the visitors who have arrived. And a bunch of people go on and go order their vast drinks of the night, while this drunk dwarf goes up to you and says, "Oh, you all seem like people who should go on a drinking contest with us." And he kind of opens his eyes wide at you, like, expectantly. To the last drink.
A drinking contest? Are either of you fit to challenge him?
Not much of a drinker myself, but thank you for the offer.
Oh. What about all the other elves that are about? And he kind of stares through row of eyes. There's a fucking ton of elves in this party.
Well, what is the wager?
The wager? What wager?
It's a contest. Is there no prize?
Yeah, there is. We get to stay up and not get knocked out and sweep in the floor.
I suppose I'm too much of a coward for your contest.
Your visitors are getting worse and worse these days. And he kind of grumbles and goes drink his last drink and avoids the conversation from now on.
Gerard, meanwhile,
and the innkeeper himself, Gvan, says, and that's the singer.
And Gerard actually chuckles for once.
Either way, you guys are free to either take your drink or not. No one is actually... none of them are incredibly insistent about this, that's for sure. No, not... There is some peer pressure for that moment. As soon as you guys noticed that you weren't interested, a lot of them just like, grumble, and just fucking go back to their drinks and try to drink each over under the table instead.
I think we should perhaps retire to the inn and start again tomorrow morning on watch for whether the caravan arrives.
Yes, I'll stay somewhere sheltered nearby, perhaps center of town. I only need 4 hours trance, and I would imagine I might sight them in time.
Sure, I think I'll take the comfort of an inn room. I similarly only need 4 hours to trance, but I don't think that they'll be missed if we're not watching. It seems like they would be staying in town long enough to do trading. I don't know if we need to keep a vigilant watch necessarily.
Oh, listen, I am somewhat ill at ease around people, but yeah, of course, go, take your rest.
I, for one, am going to the Northern Light, then. Says, store.
And perhaps, Gerard says to the barkeep, along with my gold piece, I might just kneel on the floor for the night. I wouldn't wish to miss the merchant.
The barkeep, who has since called for the last night been completely overwhelmed with orders, he looks toward you and says, "Yeah, sure, whatever."
Gerard takes absolute advantage of that, and
you're not the only person that's going to sweep on the ground tonight.
That's what he was thinking.
All right, I do need you to make a perception check during the trance.
This can't be good.
It can't be good.
It totally is good.
It is great. No matter what you roll, it's always a success here. You haven't. So you are aware enough that as you're trancing and you're going through this particular dream that seems so confusing. So like this experience, you quickly come to you weren't necessarily paying a lot of attention to your surroundings as you were so focused on this trance, and you realize that this drunken dwarf is like hugging you and falling asleep on top of you as well, like and hugging to the side and with his head on your shoulder. Like,
Gerard, needless to say, finds little meditation this night. He's going to be very uncomfortable and possibly covered in dwarf hair in the morning.
It was the same guy who was inviting you to for a competition. It seems that you lost.
Yeah, I seem to have.
Perhaps.
Either way, for everyone else that was going to the Northern Light, I will say, because there's one more thing before we end the session.
How many drow can say they've made dwarf friend today?
Mm-hmm. So, as you guys are making your way to the Northern Light, you see that the town itself is sitting completely quiet this late, other than the very little noise that comes out of the walls of the Hookline and Sinker. You make your way into outside of the tavern and towards the inn. Almost like this light in the distance that is just coming towards you. Mikeshi, where are you putting the birds? Are you checking in at the tavern to see if they have stables? Is that what you're doing, or are you trying to find like some more wilderness spot for them, like to try to cover them from the snow and whatnot? The edge of town? Just like straight up on the snow? Or are you staying with them? Okay, when you're saying nice spot, you mean nice spot in the wilderness, right? Because the inn is quite comfortable. But this weather, the animals might be used to the weather, but also many times they sleep inside, right, during the night, in actual barns and whatnot. It's not like they're going to die from a night out, but it's definitely, unless precautions are made, they will be uncomfortable. But yeah, if you're staying there with them, you know the kind of precautions that you should take in order to cover them. Like at some point, especially with the use of some magic, I imagine you can even make like an actual mound of snow that serves as cover, like on the actual hillside that serves as cover from one side. Like put some things down in order to make this place pleasant. Tie them up to a stake on the ground. All right. For everyone else that is going to the Northern Lion, for you, Mikashi, it goes well. No need for a roll, anything of the sorts for now. You do exactly that. For everyone else that is going over to the Northern Light, as you are making through towards the Northern Light, you see this pile of snow just stir as you pass it.
What's the lighting like? Are we near houses? Are we?
You are pretty close. You're pretty close to the Northern Light. Like the door is about maybe 25 feet away, and the pile of snow that seems to stir as you pass is basically like to the side of the building.
I'll cast Mage Hand and like scoop a little bit of snow off the top, see if I can reveal what's over there.
You cast a Mage Hand, and as the hand approaches and touches the snow, this massive dragonborn ant comes rushing out of the snow and tries to grab the Mage Hand, not realizing that he can't. And he says, "Who goes there? Is it thieves? Have I found those gripping bastards?" And as he gets up, he pulls down the scarf that's covering his face. He was sitting under this pile of snow. You see the silver dragonborn holding on to an empty wine bottle as if it was a weapon. He kind of belches and grins at you, realizing that you're not dwarves, and says, "Pardon my manners, a bit jittery with all the tiffany going on. I am Trovus, the town speaker."
Well, it's good to meet you, I suppose. I am Anai. What may I ask what you're doing out here? Doesn't seem like a comfortable spot.
I'm out to catch thieves.
Ah.
You see, the town's had some thievery trouble lately. No one's seen anything really. Just the other night, the veteran over at Northern Lion was stolen. Corey won't let me hear the end of it because I haven't been able to find those responsible. Not yet, anyway, but I have a knack for this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're just headed into the inn. We're not the thieving type, so I can assure you, don't need to worry about us.
So as you try to excuse yourself, he goes into this long speech about his adventuring in his younger days and how he's so capable of this stuff. He begins just telling stories before you realize you guys are walking away, and he follows. "Oh, you're going to the northern light?"
Yes.
"Oh, yes, I know the people there. I'll go with you."
Thank you. That's kind of you.
That's no problem. And he begins making his way, leading you as if you are not like 25 feet away from the door. Like he quickly rushes over to the door itself, and he says, "We're here." And he opens the door widely. And as you guys enter the inn itself, you see that the inn appears to be mostly empty. There is a young woman that looks up to you as you enter and gives the dragonborn this chastising smile and says, "Did you fall asleep outside again? I'm telling you, Trovius, one day you're going to have to stop relying on the kindness of strangers." The woman then opens the door into what looks like a kitchen and calls out, Each up something for Trovers. He's been out patrolling again. You see that the woman that was talking, she seems to be human, and she seems to be the owner. As the other person comes in to the same room, she seems to come prepared with the boiling kettle of water that she ever manages to keep ready, and she very quickly settles some tea for everyone. You realize that very easily that the owners are siblings, and they have quite a few resemblances between them. He just says, "Oh, thank you, sweetie," and she says, she just like pats him on the back of the head. Scaring the customers, he says.
Oh, he's no bother. I think we'd like some rooms for the night if you have anything available.
Yeah, we have a few rooms available at the moment. Yes, I can get you guys into how many rooms?
It's just me and Liara, right?
And
Yes.
Store.
Store.
I guess, okay, I'll say that's, for the sake of this, I'll say that Store and Omar, if Omar is actually buying it, that's goodbye. I'm not role-playing Omar because I don't know anything about him. If Store and Omar are going to stay in a room together, and so you guys stay on the other room.
Okay, that works fine. Just 2 rooms then.
Yeah, it should be easy enough for the night. Just you have some empty space. Let's say 3 silver pieces
Per room.
per room. Yes.
That should be fine.
So as the Dragonborn begins drinking the East tea, it seems that he already has a mug set aside that is bigger than the other mugs. It says number 1 mayor. And he quickly drinks his tea, burning himself as he does. And he says, I was serious about the free troubles.
What exactly has been stolen? Is this has it been going on long?
Well, he kind of stumbles over his words a bit, and the woman talks inside, and she says, well, a few different things were stolen. First of all, my name is Corey.
Good to meet you. I'm Anai.
Pleasure to meet you. She asks the other for introductions as well. Before she says, from ourselves, we had this magic lantern that used to decorate the outside of the inn, which would just light up the area with different colors. And that was stolen a few nights ago, but no one has seen what Auril stole it. The truth is the town has been experiencing break-ins and robberies lately, but no one has actually witnessed the potential culprit. It seems that there are directions of tracks towards Calvin's cairn, but but the tracks end up just going away and disappearing. So we haven't had much luck there.
So you don't suspect it's someone from within the town?
I like to think better of the people here personally.
Well, actually,
and to which the Dragonborn says, "I told you, it's those damn dwarves."
If it is a magic item that you've lost, I have a spell that helps find magic things. I could do a pass of the town if you want. If it is still in town, there's a chance I could find where it is.
The Dragonborn, she looks a bit inquisitive at that, but the Dragonborn seems impressed, and he says, "Under my authority, you are free to look around town with your magical sight."
Very well. I think I'll retire.
And he looks towards Cordy and says, "That won't get me in trouble, right?"
Oh, it's
she just kind of
not
face
intrusive
palm.
at all. It's nobody will know what I'm doing.
He says, I am not the best tracker, so if someone would like to follow those tracks as well next time something gets stolen, I am sure someone could figure it out more than myself. That wasn't my speciality.
I think
Back in my adventuring days.
we have
And he
someone-
continues to go on a lengthy story talking over you.
Mm.
What were you saying? Like, do you manage to get the word in?
I was just gonna say, we have someone in our party that might be able to help track
Right.
down whoever it is if they're leaving town and leaving behind
Mm-hmm.
tracks.
Gotcha. The story that he shares that forces everyone to listen to is the story about where he kicked the elf ogre into a river and watched it float away while he yelled profanities at him. And he says, and another time, I tricked a group of kobolds into believing I was a dragon in humanoid form. Oh, I should tell you about the other items that were stolen.
Sure. What else was there?
So there was the lantern from the Vocal Inn, but there was also a pair of goats stolen from the tavern,
Mhm.
and a small sack of pearls. And he reaches up to this pocket where it seems that there is a paper, and he kind of looks at it. It seems like he's getting old in age because he kind of moves the paper a bit further up and further away to try to get the exact right angle where his vision is not failing him. And he says, a small sack of pearls carved into decorative beads, gone missing from the stores of Frozen Far Expeditions.
Okay.
But I haven't had any luck. And he clasps the paper together, puts it back onto his pocket.
Well, I have a reasonable chance of finding the lantern if it's still in town. Couldn't really say about the others, but I think we could probably help you. Well, I think we'd be willing to try at least.
Oh, great. That's why I love visitors. See,
But-
Corey, nothing to worry about. These nice visitors will help us.
For tonight, I think we'll take our leave, and we've been traveling a while, so I think we could use some rest.
Yeah, and I believe I should go to bed as well. And he just walks away. He like begins going upstairs before realizing this is the wrong way and comes down and makes his way out of the building. Corey just says, well, good night. Hopefully you have a pleasant stay in Carriconig.
Thank you.
With that, you begin making your way to the room. The room itself is pleasant. Nothing out of the ordinary, but pleasant, warm.
Mhm.
There's some nice blankets made out of goat fur. And you guys all find sleep for the night. And hopefully, we'll pick up again next week.
Except for Geralt, who is covered by a dwarf.
Should have gone
Yep.
for the inn.
Never stay in the tavern. Never. Not safe.
Well, I know you didn't get to say anything at the beginning, Thompson, but thank you as always for GMing. If you'd like to say anything to the people watching, and there have been people.
Oh shit! Hello. Hi. Does YouTube have emotes?
In the live chat, yes.
Okay. Smiley face. There you go.
There you go.
All right. Well, see you next week, gentlemen.
Yep. See you next week.
See you around.
And we will.
And let's see. The next session we have on. Let's see. So I have a session on
Tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow.
All right. I
For
will see you
Odyssey.
tomorrow,
Yes.
then.
So Snack and Legacy tomorrow.
Yep.
And Cinder.
See you later.
Yep.
And Cinder.
Yep, we will.
All
be,
right. Perfect.
We will be
Bye.
back with Thompson tomorrow for some more Odyssey of Theros. And
I'll make the Odyssey of the Dragon words.
Odyssey of the Dragon Lords.
Odyssey of the
which
Dragon
is-
Lords.
Which is in Theros. I get it mixed up.
It is in Tivia.
Deria, yes.
Tivia.
I'm not functioning
Yeah,
tonight, apparently. I may have
No
drank-
worries, no
I may-
worries.
I,
Just
I may have had
it's a-
some ale.
it seems like you weren't the only one. But anyways, if I'll say something tomorrow. Yeah, we'll be playing tomorrow again, so no worries. Cinder, thank you for playing. Legacy, thank you for playing, and hopefully that was enjoyable. And hopefully tomorrow there's more.
I had a great time. It's always
If
a
not,
pleasure.
if not, there's always next week. Right.
And
See ya.
Yep, party loot is up to date. Everything's taken care of.
Perfect. See ya.
See ya.
If you need anything, let me know. I'll still be awake for a few hours.
Absolutely.
Yeah. See ya.
And see you as well, viewers. Thank you for watching. I always appreciate your support of our charitable cause, whether you're a viewer or someone helping us out there, one of our contributors. And thank you as well to the GM. We always appreciate him. Games twice a week, and they are wonderful. If you would like to have a game with GM Tompson, well, all you need to do is look at the overlay or look at the video info for his information. You can contact him by Discord direct message. And you can hear my wild hound in the background. Sorry about that. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.